Prepare for battle.
My gratitude to a future of grief.
That wasn't too bad. That was hot. Burns, doesn't it?
Jeez, I mean, it's a good thing we already established I look like a Bible carrier, because it sounds like Gambit need God on their side to win this one, Pycat.
Yeah, I think also it does look a little bit rough. My point of view as well. They've got the thing that I like is that they have the Slardar and Lean. One of these strong. Definitely a very strong lane. I mean, Magnus doesn't offer all that much. We'll see how cute.
30 seconds to battle.
A hero that does make up 5 not being the strong by quite a bit. A very strong lane. Definitely gonna be helping out on that one. I was actually sitting here thinking about, you know, like there are a lot of ways you could have gone about this. Throw the Lesh onto a support. Put the Magnus in the offlane. I think
the battle
fine
begins.
as well. Yeah, they're just gonna keep it keeping it kind of simple, standard.
Yeah, that's kind of been the difference so far, right? Like game 1, now game 2 as well. Is like Gambit maybe kind of drafting themselves into a corner, while Nigma, they check the boxes and give themselves a little bit of wiggle room.
Nigma have this like very simple power on Miracle, becomes very fat and can buy status resist. Don't have to buy any Battle Fury, Y, you can get Satanic at some point, Basher, whatever you want, you can buy it. Most likely see some sort of status resistance coming out of him. Just the thing about Gambit's lineup is that I mean, I'm a big fan of this Slardar hero right now. I think it's very strong, but it's just they coupled it up with the Spectre. And Spectre, a lot of your damage comes from Desolate. Mind Control might be, you know.
Being brought low, the impetus will get him almost over the mark. The Fairy Fire saves him for a little bit longer, and good choice to use the Whirl and Death there to ensure that Kasani couldn't hit him down in 2.
Yeah, the lane does get better for Mind Control. Hard to deal with. Yeah, I mean, it's just a very straightforward troll game, I would say. He just has to farm, buy some fighting items, go. Whereas Gambit, they need a lot of things to go right. Kind of well in their lanes. I think the Doom has to get pretty big. They need to figure out how to stop this troll running loose.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that point around like the Slardar Spectre interaction. It's similar with the Doom as well, right? Like these two heroes, they don't build in a way that necessarily fully exploits that minus armor, right? Like for example, Feck builds tankies, and that's about it.
Exactly, they don't play that well off of each other, I would say. A little bit strange to see. They also got this Magnus, you know, the triple melee cores. At some point you might just get, you might tank those RPs. Become a bit awkward for you.
I guess it's going to be a little bit awkward to try and stick on the Wii in these fights as well. Like you can see how they can get on him initially, but maybe how do you stay on top of the Leshrac when there's both this Rubik and this Magnus that can screw over this clumping that Gambit are going to be forced into?
Yeah, the way that I would see these fights play out later on, if it's gonna Gambit, is that you would want to doom the wreck most likely. Get a Yules on the try to play around the Yules timing on prevent the troll fighting up until the point where he gets beat. Once they reach BKBs, you're gonna have to shit. Probably start thinking about dooming the troll, but he's gonna have that. It's gonna be a bit tough, but you know, going for this Leshrac should be a good target. Magnus is sort of dealt with in a way by the Spectre. Both these supports kind of check the Spectre. There's not too much burst damage on Nigma, which is good. Spectre loves playing type damage. Definitely have ways of fighting back. You want your both. I really think your Lina has to have a decent game here. Your Slardar can fall into a bit more of a supporting-ish role. Just, I mean, that similar build we saw from Mind Control. You can forgo even the Axe if you want. Have the Lina farm a bit more.
Radiant's
that's when you would
has been killed.
Even thinking about getting Axe on Lina.
Has been killed.
I mean, it'd be one hell of a turnaround, right? After the game 1 beating the Vampire had, like, if he could actually come out and be the shining light in this one, we already mentioned that he's proven he can have these standout performances. It sounds like that is where you're pinning all your hope. That's where you're putting all your money, is on Vampire taking control of this game, essentially.
No, it's not just about him taking control. It's more so of how I look at the farm distribution, what would favor them in fights. I think having a strong Lina in these fights would be beneficial. Whereas the Slardar, he doesn't really need all the... A lot of his strength is going to come from this amp and guns.
Yeah, and there is an exploitable weakness in Nigma's draft, because like for all the things we said that look good, how the lanes should end up pretty well for them.
Mind control here, maybe in a little bit of trouble. The tornado is very annoying. The
tornado's just out of range though. He hasn't got any points out chains.
The armor is it's just too much. Maybe another.
Yeah. Nah, not quite. He turns around. He's like, I'm not stupid. Not cool. Top, they were trying to aggress on the Vampire here. They will have to lift the drive back there very far, but they just sidestep the LSA, and that'll be your first blood. So the man of the moment, the one that you were hoping would carry Gambit through this this awkward laner phase, is actually the first one to fall.
And I feel like this is a classic case of just understanding kind of the draft and the game right now. I think Nigma just bringing this third top lane. They understand that this place is where Gambit really have to take control. Bring this Rubik up here because in the bottom lane they have this Timbers over 2 points in reactive armor. Yeah, he gets forced back to base, but at the same time you're still just gonna come back. You're gonna pretty much free farm against the Spectre. It's gonna be required, like, at least these 2 heroes to try to deal with this Timbers on once he gets 5. Even that might be difficult. But they're just gonna kind of break this top lane, make sure that Miracle has a good time.
Now that one's surprising. That Warlord. It's a tough one, right? Because you can get this ice armor, which usually kind of stops you losing the lane, but against the Leshrac heroes, probably one of a handful of heroes that can still actually pick you off. But surprising that he dies that easily to a solo Leshrac.
Must have just tanked the stun when we got sick. Get this 6, you turn on the Pulse Nova, it's already too late for you to guy, and could have used the 1 and tried to survive or something with, but you're probably not gonna kill the Leshrac anyway. It's quite a fast.
I just love this from Wee, by the way. He's just like stepping up. He kind of wants to be doomed. The one we're talking about, that they actually find the pick under mind control in the bot lane, which, I mean, he was just shy of 5, so not fully sustained, just in time before actually they probably never would have been able to kill him.
Yeah, that's quite a big kill. It's gonna help propel the Spectre quite a bit. Also, just slow down mind control a bit. It's very important that he doesn't just get level 5 for free and start taking control. A good job there. Of course, the imp helps quite a bit since damage.
Yeah, he's got 2 points in already, so it dishes out a decent amount. Of course, the issue is once he does have that level 3 reactive armor, that shouldn't happen anymore, right? Like, it should be nigh on impossible to kill mind control without a third hero rotating. Ooh, speaking of killer, he'll be able to skewer one across, but Millers has the Bash Prime. He'll just chase it down. 2 more hits would kill him. In fact, the Crush is good enough on its own. It's level 2.
He's gonna miss the stun. Might have also been potentially a kill. Miracle has a lot of ones though.
Tower is under attack.
It's hard to kill him.
Middle tower.
Yeah, it's the Fate Bolt as well, right? Like, if you're not going on the Rubik, you can just casually maximize the reduced damage with that Fate Bolt. And the tower mid already gone. And this is going to start to feel like a very dangerous area. He does force the Doom out of Lorinov in the end, but Lorinov taking just as much damage, has to walk away. He might tick out. Keep him range. 1 more hit. Not enough. And we can now not get the deny, so he will die just about in the end.
Very kind of on the edge there play by Lorinov. Come on, use your... but yeah, I mean, he gets the kill. It's all. And he gives over the lane to Vampire for a brief moment. Yeah, definitely a very, very big kill for them to find there with the tower going down. Still ahead of Leshrac now thanks to that kill and also...
is under attack.
Yeah, there's definitely a guy with this pressure on Wee to just find a way to amp up his farm. Because if you do go into a stalemate, you have got this Doom that has been known to farm up quite a ridiculous amount of gold courtesy of that Devour alone.
Yeah, and he does have this circlet plus ring of protection. I would actually love to see this drop a turn here. Potentially just go into the vessel early on. Go into Vessel and then try to get your beat.
Radiant's
Yeah, I think the
bottom
Vessel
tower is under attack.
very nice item to have both against it.
Dire's top tower is under
If he
attack.
gets it that early, it's gonna the synergy between push to ton of damage.
Well, Mind Control taking a lot of damage, being brought low. Back away
Radiant's
though.
bottom tower has fallen.
CP up from GH. Mind
Radiant
Control's not really
structures are
as comfortable as he'd like to be in the top lane right now, as Iron will relentlessly just hit into him.
Vampire has been a little bit off these stuns.
The
Heroes are in
calibrates.
trouble up top though.
Yeah, Laurenov is here now. He doesn't have anything that he can miss, so it should be much simpler for him. The Horn's going to come out to reveal where everyone is. Mind Control is going to be picked off. The LSA on point this time from Vampire will stop Miracle from coming in and disrupting the push by Gambit.
Dire's top tower is
For
under
Midas,
attack.
I really dislike this. He's gonna get propelled, in terms of levels and everything. I think farms incredibly fast with just the power.
It feels like you're playing into Gambit's draft a bit, right? Like, they have this spec for later on, and while Troll can fare well against spec in that late game situation, it's the concern of how the other cores are going to accelerate in comparison to Nigma's own.
They have quite a few stacks here.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire
Efficient
are
stackers
scattered.
here.
No, these are professional players. They don't miss no stacks, all right? They stopped reading those inaccurate tooltips, which I think have been updated now. Because you remember
Yeah. Look at we on the bottom lane, man. Just
Radiant's
using this one
bottom
team
tower
Of
is under
course.
attack.
gets down the tower.
I wonder
I
if,
get
like,
it
do
too.
you
Oh,
reckon
it's
this is some...
vector protection.
Oh, yep. Creeps aren't close enough. He's going to be able to walk away, though. Melis can't contest this. I was going to say, do you think that's something that might change about Leshrac, that Diabolic Edict does hit targets through fog?
There are other things. I think it's also depending on what heroes are strong in the patch. A hero becomes stronger.
Yeah.
I think the Edict it's just a nice spell. I feel like it's such a it's such a cool spell.
Oh yeah, I agree. It's
Kinda
just like, I know there's been plenty of situations where you just casually watch people get walked down by Diabolic Edict recently, right? It's... I mean,
Diabolic.
words. Diabolic. Diabolic. You right, mate? Diabolical.
Son of a bitch.
That is diabolical. Oh man, as soon as I can't actually use that word now without thinking of
Boys.
the boys. Yep.
The butcher.
Yep. The baby scene.
Oh yeah, that one. That is.
Yep.
That's good.
The best one. Oh, GH got the Scorched Earth. Alright. I mean, they've got a little bit more initiation, because that's the thing. Nigma, their initiation is still a little bit lackluster, right? They haven't got anyone that
Dire's
can
middle
instantly
tower
get
is
in and
under
find a
attack.
target, whereas Gambit, they now have this Blink Dagger Slardar.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was maybe the cost who brought it up on the panel. I don't know if it was much cost, but I also like this Rubik hero. I quite like it. I think it can definitely still be a really... I mean, this game he has so many nice spells to
Radiant's
Steve.
bottom tower
Got the
has
Scorch,
fallen.
got all of the spells.
Doom?
He has a lot of great spells to take.
Yep, he has a lot of great spells to give away. He got the tower at least, and he got a solid pick on Dying, but still Laurenov finding the high value targets with this ultimate each time.
Yeah, at least he did go for this urn, and he's going to be... He might just go into the vessel right after. But I really like what this Doom is for. I think once you get this DKB, if you can get this vessel, it's gonna help you so much against the... and the troll. Mind Control not having the best game so far. Already 2 deaths. He's going for 6. Likely the items.
Yeah, the crux for him, right, is being tanky enough that you won't just die to Doom,
There you go.
but then also having a relevance outside of you being unkillable. As someone who's not unkillable is Kuro. Question is whether they can find more. Vampire hasn't really got the movement speed to catch up with we, so it looks like Nigma aren't going to lose any of the cores up in this top lane. Gambit, I don't know what it is to hang around with it. It actually hangs around too long. We gets caught. LSA follow-up is good, and I mean, that Disco Pony should have been gone, but instead he's dead.
I mean, he's gone, you know? He would have been
He's
gone,
gone
but in a different way. Yeah. Just kind of wants a similar story to the previous game, you know. Maybe they didn't want to change the recipe because of Weeha gives up a few kills early on, and then they, you know, then he bounces back. Inspiring some false hope, and maybe some hopefully some overconfidence by.
Question is whether they can pivot off it.
Miracle is going through some stacks, going for that S and Y.
He's padding up the stats now. The Midas, I mean, how long do you feel uncomfortable about this Midas until you feel like it's paid off? Or does it never in your eyes truly pay off compared to what you should have had in this game?
Haste!
It's nice. The attack speed is I think kind of the nice part for the troll, because you can start to stack up your fervor stacks, right? The faster you get to hit quickly. But just the hero farms so fast. When you have a Magnus on your team, you know, with your spells, your whirling access, you already farm so quickly with this hero that it seems a little bit awkward. It's gonna have some really nice levels though, but you see Spectre is enough with levels like with Midas Troll that's gotten so many stacks.
Yasha, just similar value. It's going to be an interesting one. I mean, he will get the levels quickly. Maybe his thought was about the talents, right? Like, maybe it's a crucial talent he feels he needs to get access to quicker in this game.
I'm not really sure what.
I mean, the damage one is always nice, but it's not like absolutely crucial you get it by X timing, right?
Yeah, I don't think any talent here for early game build. The thing is, yeah, you can get on a rating. The fact that you already have Magnus, right? That's kind of why I feel like it's not really necessary.
It's like when you have a Magnus and build a Battle Fury, right? You just sit like, why? I'm literally this for you. We'll see if Gambit can punish it. I mean, if they can get this tier 1 tower, it'll open up the jungle, and then maybe they can start making Miracle feel uncomfortable. Jump in, Melee trying to make Rubik feel uncomfortable. Horn's going to come through. GH the target. Wolf fall already. Kuro jump in. RP's going to be there. Fight back out from the Rubik. Have they got the full-on damage? Mind Control coming through, bursting them low. The Doom's been thrown out of the Troll, though. With the BKB run, the reverse Doom, because of a stolen Rubik, returns it on the Lorinov. They do get the Troll killed. Lina falls in return. They need more out of this, though. Can they actually find it is the real question. Kasani is full health, so Nigma, they might just have to cut their losses and accept that while they can defend this tower, they could not defend their Troll.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Miracle just what he was thinking. He had the battle trance, and like he could just battle trance on the die regardless. I mean, either he gets to deal a lot of damage and he somehow survives thanks to the battle trance, or it's a bit of a snoozing moment. Not sure what happened there. Yeah, nice. I mean, definitely a good kill for them to find anything to further their doom. And I mean, the Spectre incredibly well considering not an incredibly easy Spectre game. On track to become an actual threat in this game. I think Gambit have done very well to kind of keep up with the level of farm that they have right now.
I like this from Nigma though. They say, okay, big ult's used. What's the best thing we can do right now? Well, we're taking 2 tier 1 towers already, tier 2 bot. The most obvious one is Roche. And if you're Gambit, you don't want to contest this, right? Like, you don't have an easy way to fight into that pit without your big ults.
They can hover around the area. Now they don't have Scorched Earth anymore, but I feel like with Scorched Earth, if they knew about this, I think some contest, because just Lina's spammable spells, some daggers, you get Scorched Earth in there. It's not gonna be so easy for
Kasani.
Stop it, son.
They're only to interrupt this right now, skewer through, and no, they get the kill under the Roche, but Miracle is able to pick up the Aegis. Battle Trance, this time he will use it, but they lost the mag. Lorinov standing his ground, needs to move away quicker than this. Miracle is pursuing. He's low on HP. The LSA, they'll get rid of his first life already. Kuro had to buy back for this, but how are you going to lose the Troll? It looks like Gambit saying, no, that's fine. We completely and utterly, immediately eliminate the advantage you just gained. And we even got the Roche kill, so gold goes our way once more.
Yeah, very nice by Gambit there. Careful, quick on that. Finding the Aegis. Like, I feel like whenever I watch this guy, if there's ever a battle to get the Aegis, it doesn't really matter where Miracle is. Somehow he ends up with the Aegis. Just if this was the Wild Wild West, you know, you'd care to go this guy.
They kept the Doom the whole time. Kasani's low. I don't know if he's going to tick out. Melee is perfectly done to save him.
got the royal jelly. He's got the spurs.
He's fine.
A-okay.
I like you brought up that point about Miracle. Do you think, you know when they added all the little game modes like Whack-A-Meepo, do you think like some people tried to challenge Miracle and then realized it was pointless?
I'm not sure, maybe, you know. But he's quick on the draw.
Plus the point in that one also, the time he didn't hesitate to use the battle trance, right? Like, I think he's learned his lesson from the first time, so. He understands that in this game, Gambit are going to try and force fights into him. He's not going to get his time to shine in the jungle. He's going to be forced to shine in the fights.
Dire are scanning.
Yeah, and Nigma they're just trying to split the map, buy more time. At the same time, you look at this Spectre. Honey's done an excellent job this game. Higher level than this Midas Troll with Empower. He's got the Manta Blade Mail, he's got the Pupil's Gift. He's ready to fight. Wrong right now.
Speaking of fighting, they're on the GH here. They did use the Horde. Mind Control's going to arrive. They're going to give it a shotgun GH low. They will be able to finish him off. Now, Mind Control immediately doomed. LSA through, make sure he can't even escape. He's gone.
Dire's middle
Yeah, and when
tower
the Rubik is
under
already
attack.
dead, going out that Doom, you don't care.
Structures are fortified.
Get a free kill, get the power, further your advantage. Gambit are playing very well, I think.
It's the immediacy of which they play, right? There was no hesitation to invest the Horn in that. Even if all they see originally is a Rubik kill, they understand the control in that area is just as crucial. He's being controlled. Iron chasing forward. Jump in from LS, good. And looks like this Disco Pony is going to be dead. LSA is going to be sidestepped. Maybe he takes a target with him, but no dice. Miracle is going to charge in now. Wants a target, looks under Iron. What's the attack speed for this? The LSA, nice clip across. Kuro has to use the RP to ensure that Miracle didn't come here for nothing, so they'll at least get the Lina kill. But a lot invested for it, you still do end up losing Wii.
Yeah, and once Doom hard for him. Fights. Wii is not really strong enough. He's at 4 deaths. Put him quite far behind us. I think a lot of these deaths were avoidable. When Doom gets Shivas with this PK, could even go back for this Frost over if you... Of course, this Swiftness help your team.
Next time.
Nigma could have some serious...
Yeah, you also don't have that protective element for when a Leshrac falls behind, right? Like, you think of the drafts to have things like an Omni Knight or a clutch save like an Oracle. It really is a case if he kind of has to survive on his own merits. The only person who can help a little bit is Mind Control's mech.
Yeah, and Mind Control, I feel like this is something you don't... hasn't participated on...
Well, he has participated.
Well, in that. Kills, death... no, depends how you... whichever way you want to twist.
What about looking for the upside here? But yeah, it's not what we see from Mind Control. Like we've talked about before, he's usually the anchor point. He's usually the one that's kind of setting the pace and he's setting things up for his team. So far, the only thing he's setting up is a gold influx for Gambit.
Spectre gets Scotty, it's kind of scary. If you get to this Scotty on Spectre with... I'm not really sure how you kill this guy. It's gonna be a while before Miracle could think. Don't really have all that amazing burst damage. Bro has even gone back from the idea of getting the blink. He had, I think, 1,000 gold, 1.2k even, 1k about 5 minutes ago. Now he's pretty much at the same kind of courtesy of the buyback he had to use to fight. Gone back to the Vlads.
Definitely aren't. I mean, the Vlads will be beneficial, but only for the troll. They really are putting all their eggs in the Miracle basket, one that has delivered time and time again. I like this move from Wii at least. He's going to try and split them up a bit. Like, maybe if you can force 1 or 2 heroes back here, you can do something top. But Gambit are wise to it. They stick together. They'll charge in on Mind Control. GH force use lift just in time to stop Melee from getting the stun out. Mind Control able to get into the tree line. I'll punish the Timber. That does mean we knows he's safe to stay here. It's just going to keep poking and prodding at this tier 3 tower in the bot.
Yeah, they're gonna have to deal with...
Oh, he got blowing off.
Well, this gonna... got
He's cancelled. He got cancelled. Stun jump in. Melee connects to the 2. Kuro in a little bit of trouble. They're going to throw out the Doom with the Horn as well. Miracle has no way to fight. He is going to die in the end. They'll move forward. Kisani decides not to go for more. They've got what they came for. We thinks about hanging around to take this tower, but with the glyph there, he might hang around too long. All right, Vampire lets him know it's not safe. Which makes sense, because actually Vampire could die here. He doesn't have the Laguna, which means he's no threat to we.
Radiant's bottom tower.
However, Melez might.
Dire's top tower.
He decides to hang around top, where's an easier target. They jump in on GH. Easy kill to burst through. Melez being brought low. The lift's going to come out. GH, no fade ball for 2 seconds, though. Melez able to limp away barely.
Gambit played this very well. They did eventually lose their tower in the bottom lane, but it gained so much. You killed the Ruby. You got the mag, you got the top tower.
You're escalating that net worth lead, right? Like, and you're posturing. You can see that they're very reluctant to give up the area around Roche, as it could spawn in just over a minute, right? So they want to try and stay in this area of the map in preparation for that.
Yeah, Scotty now on Spectre. Trying to get to that Satanic.
Where's the score? He's got nothing.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, he's getting very close to the Satanic, so all that status resistance is going to be very useful. Get lucky at 7-1. Titan Sliver. Still going to... You can still die, even with Satanic. I mean, you can still doom the troll. You can... With all the damage that you have, with the Skadi on the Spectre,
it makes it predictable you don't have buyback at all. You haven't even thought about saving for it. We in a lot of trouble. He just got the Bloodstone, and it's gonna start to get a little bit weaker. Down to 11 charges already.
Yeah, Nigma are gonna have to do a very good job at splitting this map. I can, but it's gonna become more and more. Catch from Slardar soon. Oh, Spectre without mind control.
That's a scary situation for mind control. I mean, Kisani, he barely gets out because Vampire has arrived, but the fact that Kisani almost solo killed a Timbersaur, it doesn't bode well for Nick.
He does not. Mind control still
Radiant
yet to participate. Kills here, trying to get to the... The Spectre is becoming a very big issue. Much too quick a rate.
And that split of the map that you're talking about is so hard for Nigma in this game. Like, who can comfortably do it? Mind control, he's going to start to struggle now. He's probably the only one who could somewhat safely push them out because Gambit have so much presence, right? They've got this Slardar always arrive, and they've got the Horn to play with. It's very hard for Nigma to find a way to buy more time.
They find this double damage. I think this is... Try to take a fight with this. Go for some... I feel like you're sort of, if you give up this Roche, like Spectre, then the game becomes
Radiant's bottom barracks are
incredibly difficult.
Yeah, it looks like we wants to try and force someone back to this base so they maybe can fund a fight. You know, just poke prod, get those TPs.
Got the Axe also. Timbersaw's game. Even the Troll without the fervor.
Yeah, Trolls.
Gonna become very hard for him to do.
Yes, it's an item we'd rarely ever see on Dooms, actually. For those that don't know how that works, it basically turns your Infernal Blade into a real stun and puts a break effect in place. You're looking to break Lauren off now, he gets caught out. Or Vampire, rather, is going to be brought down. That might give them the keys to the pit. You might be a little bit hesitant still, because there is the Horn, there's the Slardar, right? But if you just stick Miracle in here, you could probably do this, right?
I'm not sure. You got the dagger spam on the Spectre. He buyback.
Mind control. Show himself. Lift does connect to the melee. A lot of damage done. The Timber Chain doesn't connect through, but it's enough to bring him down. Dude's thrown out a Miracle. In a lot of trouble. The Horn jumps straight on top of him. Scooter to try and get him away. The RP doesn't matter. It's too late. Kuro's going to be a whiff. Nice dodge out from Kisani with the Horn illusion. Not that it mattered too much, because the moment Miracle hit the deck, you could feel that Nigma had no way to fight. And he's just continuing to do the one thing he can right now in this game as he pushes in on that bot lane. He says, this will not be for nothing.
Might get the Rex here.
Radiant's bottom barracks
Trying to poke him away. They've got the Laguna. They'll get him low. Oh, Bloodstone. Barely enough mana to convert over. Will just about get him away as he is quite the speedy Bloodstone. Oh, they got the kill. Oh, GH. Nicely done. GH and Mind Control, they were actually able to get the kill on the Roche. So while Kasani does get the Aegis, they at least get the gold. Might
Yeah, I think it's
back.
a very, very small consolation.
Radiant's
That fight,
bottom
did they even
barracks are
get
under
the slot?
attack.
They did get the slaughter. Still
Yes.
not the latest BDB by just a little bit, but Spectre now with Aegis and Tease. They're not looking too. They're gonna have to do a very good job. Not getting caught.
That's the thing though, right? Like when they approach these fights, we're seeing an issue of Nigma. They have to kind of all in on one target and that frees up the other. In this case, it was Slardar, which meant that the Miracle comes out and instantly gets Doom. So you have to question, do they need to prioritize Doom? Can they prioritize Doom? Because then Millers might just counter-initiate. Jumping in towards Miller's location now, but they're going to see Ein instead. He's wasting a lot of their time. Sani is here. Stun on the 2 from Melez. Miracle able to just move forward on the Ein though. We'll turn on the Melez next. He needs the root. Won't be able to get it. Weenie's in a lot of trouble though. Controlled up. Will be kicked into a grave. Grave is marked with his name. Buyback will come out from Melez though. Kasani standing his ground with a break on the Miracle. He's not able to start getting those stacks up. Has to use the battle charge just before the Laguna comes out. Yours to control him up though. They will with the stolen Laguna get rid of the first life. And moving forward isn't going to be good enough for Miracle. He will die.
Radiant's top tower is
Guro
under attack.
skewers him onto the high ground. He knows he's dead. He just wants to make sure everyone else can move away. You get rid of the Aegis, but that price is high as Miracle is dead once again.
Yeah, this is the nice point of this Nina. You get this Yule's goal. He did go for all the status resistance. Still in a lot of trouble because just the vessel and the break from the dude.
No.
Can't deal with it. Titanic is barely doing anything.
Radiant's top
Gadi
tower
and
is
the
falling.
we're not really heal anything. Don't have this BTP. Can't really rely on this ulti. Back up your HP fights.
I like how you mentioned that Doom is kind of the king of these fights, as he's currently king of the hill. But that Skura has kept him up there a long time, but he got enough gold out of that fight that he's happy about it. He'll finally be able to TP down. You're right, this Axe is just a game winner.
There's not even actually a vessel yet.
No,
But it's the Skadi, like Skadi on Spect, and it's also just
And then just
overwhelming
a
amount of damage. They don't have enough. He doesn't have enough sustain.
Jump in with the horn. They found we again. What makes him think he can come out here and split push, they say? They're going to look forward for more. Kasani is hunting towards Mind Control's location. Looks like they're going to split up. GH and Mind Control, they have got time to get away from this. There's a TP on GH, so they'll only lose we. That is the horn used for it. The problem is that Gambit, they're at this stage where any of these ultimates, they have such big impact that they can now have the Doom for the next
Dire's
engagement.
structures are fortified.
Yeah, and look how sad it feels for me now. He has to go into this. Oh, he has to go into
Dire's
BKB.
bottom tower
He understands that he can't play. He can't go for this that he really wants to get against the butterfly on Spectre now. I mean, he's gonna be lacking damage. He needs to drive these fights. He still might just get doomed.
I mean, that's the ridiculous thing. Like, even without the Doom, you know, like, the reason we're highlighting the Loronoff's impact is that Infernal Blade, even with your stats resistance build, it's still 3 seconds where you're not building any further, right? Which, it's crucial. Those first few seconds for Miracle, if he can't get the attack speed going, there is literally no way he can fight.
Yeah, and to me, a lot of this comes back to some extent, like this Midas hurting him quite a bit. It was another item ahead, and yeah, you think the Midas is actually compelling his farm. I think it's gonna slow it down, your item progression. Could have definitely had all your items and then some goes stronger. Could fight earlier and not lose so much of the map if you had your other items, your fighting items earlier. But instead you give up your strength.
Dire's middle
hero,
tower
I think
is
the hero.
under attack.
He's a lot faster than many of the POS ones that get picked. It's just the way he usually gets built doesn't present that, right?
No, exactly, and that's why I really dislike seeing both like the Battle Fury troll. I haven't really seen
Radiant's top tower
both Midas
is
troll and
under
Battle
attack.
Fury troll. I feel like Hero is such a strong laner that wanna use the Hero to either survive a top lane to get to your position 5 that helps,
Dire's middle
or
tower has
just
fallen.
survive so that you can pressure a lot. But when you do, lose that pressure that you got from the lane.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
It's a deceptive bully type hero, right? Like after laning phase, but people, they just envision it as this ultimate farmer. And while he is a god tier carry in the late game, it's what this late game is looking like when you're there. Mind control. Well, he hadn't died for a while. Hadn't being the operative word here. He's going to be brought down for the 4th time this game.
I really love
Radiant's top tower
So nice.
is under attack.
even just not even committing to the fist. I think it's definitely working.
Imagine
All of these
this.
items, they just synergize so well. Such a tanky hero. Infernal Blade. Incredibly difficult to deal with.
It's
just
a
very speedy.
perma break now. Like I think it's almost a perma break, even with the stats resistance calculated, right, for Troll.
Just might be.
Like imagine if you got Spell Prism now. Maybe a little bit overkill, but then 100% you're never getting further as a Troll.
Whoa.
How low can we get that cooldown? Starts queuing more Octarine cores.
If only.
I mean, I'm just glad to see this item. I say, after they introduced it, I think it almost never got picked up. I think they introduced it, was it around when we saw a lot of possible Doom with the, you know, just rush Scorched Earth drums and kill people constantly? I've been
No, I also am a big fan. It does make sense.
It's just hard to find a way to slot into the build, right? Like if you think of the items that Doom usually needs. Just making it work. Definitely the ideal game. Melee's gonna have to blink in a few seconds. Miracle trying to save Cure. He hasn't got Skewer for 5, but with the spider legs, he's able to move away. Dodge that bullet. Roche could be up in just over a minute, though. So Gambit just carousing Nigma out of the neighborhood could be to their benefit. Short way down the line. Oh, some more beneficial We. He got found. BKB activated with Melee's. We has no way out of this now, and he knows it. That sad little 8 bloodstone is going to go down to a 5. Oh, no.
Nigma are doing a good job at continuously split. Gambit yet have to. They're still down one side. Gold is not really starting to favor.
That's the big one.
I think it's Nigma are doing a good job. Getting the gold more level. They are losing their heroes, and at some point, you know, there comes a breaking point.
Let's see if Gambit can break them.
Dire's top
He's
tower
up on that
is
high
under
ground. They've
attack.
had enough. I see Master Pycat, you're wise. Why the hell are we just not going in? Need to break this space at some point. With a level 24 Spectre with this sort of farm and a cheese, it's very easy to do.
Dire's top tower has
He's
fallen.
going down half edge. Mind control. Just stands his ground. He's only got 10 reactive armor stacks. It's enough to get away with the 4-stop though. Luckily for him.
Middle tower.
Larenov does reveal himself. RP, they commit on him. The BKB comes out in time. The Battletron's active. Has got damage through. He'll get the Doom off, but Larenov will die. There's still the Doom. Rubik not able to use it in time. Kasani snipes out the backline. Buyback will come up from both support, but Miracle is gone. Dead for 95 seconds, and no buyback either. They can't kill Kasani. They're going to be in big trouble. How the hell do you kill this Spectre? He still has the cheese.
Got the
Radiant's
cheese.
middle tower
Got the
is
level
under
25
attack.
dispersion talent.
Oh dear. Did not like the sound of this. Nigma fans don't. Gone off the high ground for the moment because they need new creeps. If we can just push this out quickly, they'll get away with the fact that Miracle does not have buyback. Because admittedly, Gambit, they probably weren't 100% sure. Because if they were, they likely hang around for a second lane there.
The sprites are with us.
Yeah, Miracle did commit to
Radiant's
it.
middle tower is under attack.
Vampire able to get away. Mind saving the day with that 4-star there. Reinitiate from LS. Only connects on the Wii though. LSA does also hit him, but the Shrek, yes, his Bloodstone game is looking sad, but he is tanky enough, and with that BKB, they are reluctant enough on Gambit that they won't punish him.
Yeah, I think that fight is like it's a very good way for fights. You get a lift or an RP onto the get on top of him and go to work on that Doom. Press your BKB, press your start hitting the Doom. Unfortunately for Miracle, it did get the Doom off kind of the last second, and so also the Skadi is slow by the Spectre, and it does go down.
Also, well played by Kasani to make sure he prioritized Rubik there, right? Because if GH gets that Doom off in return, it's very feasible that Kasani also dies.
Say that, but this is 3 point.
That's
Titan
true.
Sliver and the dispersion talent.
Radiant are scared.
Very hard to get through this guy.
I was thinking maybe because it's Rubik, right, with the pure damage being amped up. It would have been very close for sure.
Yeah. Roche. Third Roche now with the Axe blessing.
Oh, of course. Let's see, give it to, because it looks like Nigma are going to be way too late to contest this.
Be a nice boost for Miro here.
Skewer in. Uh-oh. Yeah, he knows what he just done. The chart's going to slow him down. The machine gun impetus coming in. The jumping from Melis. He's found Miracle. The Doom's going to come out. He's in trouble. Forward to try and split the back line. They're going to turn around and take the big one. Troll dead again. Once again without buyback. Gambit might just try and end this right now. The fumble. By control. Has got the Minotaur Horn. Buys him a little bit of time. But nice stun time by Melis to stop the escape. They bring him down as well. They need to get the creeps, they need to get him fast, otherwise they won't be able to fully punish Nigma for having 2 heroes dead without buyback.
Yeah, and the Lord of he got the blink there. Get rid of the urn, just gets the blink so he
Dire's middle tower is under
does
attack.
that bit easier. Still just trying to split. Can't fight them. You have no way of winning these fights.
Is under attack.
Spectre with 2 backpack, he's got the
middle tower
Aegis.
is under attack.
Could just start thinking about you have to care about anything. How to end the
Dire's
Or you can just kill Wii. BKB used by Wii. Trying to dish out some damage before he goes down. And he does drag him back. That means the spec is now not here. So with that move, he might have just bought Nigma one more chance.
Are under attack.
I like how Xani just puts one of the cheeses in his inventory, eats it, then, you know, it's back. It's like, I still got 1 cheese. Just casual
Dire's
region.
middle barracks has
I mean, they have a cooldown, right? It's not often you remember there's a cooldown on cheese. So I guess he's like, well, I could probably kill everyone with dispersion with all this health. There's no way to use all this health.
Xani just going to cut this top lane just a little bit, go bottom, and then can just do the line for the D-bait. Take that final fight, force it.
Long before Miracle's like to have buyback as well. Still 1,600 gold away. I mean, Mind Controls is at least within reach, but like, you've still got this issue that no Kura's buyback still on cooldown for another 3.5 minutes. Same for
And Lornov.
GH as well.
Lornov with the Ruthless Echo.
Oh my god.
0.5k HP now.
I guess he looked at that one like, damn, I mean, you know, I got my Doom off last time, but why even die, right? Now, you know, one nice thing for Nigma is they did at least get the flicker. The problem is, like, they don't... Mind Control needs this Minotaur Horn, so they can't even have it on a hero that would like to get rid of that Infernal Blade damage and break. Actually,
They need a miracle, but
Dire's bottom tower
not
is under
this.
attack.
2 mirrors.
No, they need another one.
But now, someone asked me about this in the chat. Like, if a team had 2 miracles, would they always win? Now, my theory, well, what's that theory? They've gone in. They go trying to GH. Forced up to try and get away, but it's not enough.
Dire's bottom tower.
They did not
is under
hesitate.
attack.
They just saw a no buyback target and they instantly jumped. And that is the Aghanim Spectre for you.
Dire's bottom
Not
tower
even the big
has
horn,
fallen.
just a little shadow step.
The one play they have
Dire's
here, maybe
bottom tower
try to get
is under attack.
try to somehow cheese the fighting here and go for
Oh, they're doing it.
but not really gonna fall for
Well, they bring heroes back.
to.
They're not going to fall for it. But maybe they can punish it after they do fall for it. They haven't got the Abyssals now. Cooldown, they could jump on the Wii. Control is good. They cannot find Miracle, however. He at least gets away. And once again, Wii dying for his team. He's buying them more time. Time that they very desperately need.
Radiant structures are
You need to queue up maybe. Maybe you're kind of like on way to try to win these fights. It's
Oh boy.
a lot more damage.
We
Up the Deso instead, but I just think it's gonna be enough. Probably just gonna go.
He falls to the cheesy in the Laguna. He was just trying to buy more time. He has buyback. That's the thing, because we is short. We is 450 gold short. Mind Control instantly buyback, which might make this all the more obvious. Doozy. There is a bounty rune here, but that still would be enough to get that buyback for we. They will now see it. But it's going to be about 200 gold short. Mind that 300.
Yeah, I mean, Miracle has to go for.
Dire's bottom
You can get this
tower
tower,
is
try to
under
get
attack.
it straight to the throat. There's no glyph on the Radiant side.
Dire's bottom
No.
barracks are under attack.
But the problem is that
Radiant's
Miracle
top
doesn't have
tower is
buyback,
under
right? So
attack.
if he
you
goes
see the
down,
arrow
he
that's
definitely
being
lost.
drawn. See this arrow. This is kind of the
Dire's
Hail Mary
bottom
play here.
barracks is fallen.
They're gonna bring Kuro in. The RP can potentially try to stop someone who comes back to the base.
Radiant's top tower is under
Can
attack.
BKB and
Dire's courier
There are mega
has
camps
been
now.
killed.
They've got Wee's Boots of Travels as well, so he should be able to arrive. You can see Mind Control just wasting a lot of their time in the meantime. GH is going to be found. Does their abuse. Actually, are they using the big ult? They are. They're going back to base to try and compete with this. With the jumping Miracle, with the Battle Trust, trying to get Britta in time. It's going to be close, but he's not good enough. He's going to be on that Kuro. He almost gets the bonus on 100 HP. They need one more hit. Can they get it? No.
Got it.
Oh, they get it.